Hello, welcome back to my channel. So happy to see all of you and to welcome you back to my channel where you learn how to see life from a different point of view. And being the messenger that I am, I'm always being guided and being given very deep information that I share with all of you. Anyway, I want to thank you for coming back and for subscribing, for sharing, and for commenting. So today my topic is life is a mirror reflecting back at you. And this is an extremely important concept for you to understand. And it's also part of a universal law. So, what I want you to understand is that we are ruled by laws of the universe. And because the way the world has been, most of you don't even have a clue about these laws. And some of you do, of course, and if you're new to this, you probably don't. And when a lot of the times I write stuff that has to do with the truth of life, people get mad, people get angry. And you know, that's because they don't understand it. Now, we are all on a different frequency. And true, I pick up very deep information. So this is why I ask if there's anything that I say to you or speak about in my video that you don't understand, then send me an email or, you know, a comment of some kind, and I'll be glad to answer it or get more into it with you, whatever it is you don't understand. So before I go on, I have so much to explain to you this time. This doesn't have anything to do with that. But this is something that I learned last week, and it isn't something that I can do a whole video on, so I'm just putting it on this one. So you really need to get yourself a pen and a piece of paper so you can write this down. Now, some of you or most of you or all of you are aware of chemtrails and how chemtrails in our skies are spreading poison for us, for the planet, for our plants, etc. So I was given this saying that you do from Patricia Cota-Robles, and she got this from her guides. So you do this 7 times, as much as you can during the day. So what you do is you inhale. And while you're inhaling, you say, I am breathing God's pure source energy. I am assimilating God's pure source energy. This is how you change poison in the air into pure God energy. Then, after you inhale and say that as you're inhaling, then you exhale. And as you're exhaling, you say, I am expanding God's pure source energy. I am projecting God's pure source energy. And you do that 7 times. So that's just a little tidbit of information I wanted to throw in. And it's self-explanatory. Now, as far as life is a mirror reflecting back at you, I have a poem. Why not, right? So I'll read the poem first, and then we'll move on from that. Now, my poetry is channeled, and actually my guides pick out the scene, but I can't show you the scene, so I'll just let you know that the one that I used was magical. A magical scene right before your eyes, a metaphor it seems, to show life's surprise. We are free to be heavenly. We can manifest our dreams easily. We love all unconditionally. Life is beautiful. Life is divine. Live your life. Rise above and shine. Now, if you're feeling confusion and pain, heartbreak, lost, or even insane, it's because you still hold on to the lies, the game. Afraid to release what's the same. Not even aware of your shadow self, where others challenge you too. Because in reality, they're not being mean. They are only mirroring you. It's so important to see that others are truly trying to help you see all the junk you carry still, not realizing you create your own ills. You create everything that happens to you. You create everything you say and do. If you want to change your ways, look in the mirror each day. Others only reflect you. See your own true self, the only way to heal you. Release ego and control. Relax and trust your guidance, which always knows where to lead you, where to go, how to change yourself from sadness to a bright glow. Trust yourself through and through. You have all the answers needed by you when you open your mind to a different point of view. Now, believe it or not, we are ruled always and forever by universal laws. So the laws that we follow that were given to us by other humans are not the laws to follow, because they only affect you in a negative way. The laws that you need to know are the universal laws. And I've said this before too, you can find this. I did videos over a year ago on it, and there's other videos on YouTube. And I truly suggest, especially if you have a hard time with your life and you don't understand, listen to the laws. And hopefully you'll be open to understanding that we really are only here to learn, to grow, and to not come back, to be on this karmic wheel. Now, this life is a mirror reflection of you actually comes from the law of manifestation. The law of manifestation. Every belief creates your reality. If you are unhappy with your current reality, you have to change your belief and your behavior. When you realize what's not working for you, you can reprogram yourself, which will create harmony in your life. You can eliminate disharmonious behaviors when you decide which you want to eliminate. Remember this: your resistance to what is causes you more suffering. So when truths are presented to you and you choose not to believe it, that's your free will choice. But if you're still suffering, that is the reason. And only you can change it. And I suggest, after you listen to this video, that you go back into your life and start seeing the connection, seeing how it relates to your past experiences or your current experiences, and to really get this in yourself, because The only way you can change is when it feels right. It's not connecting just to a thought. Yeah, that makes sense. I understand that, but that's not deep enough. It's got to be felt in your heart. And when you feel it, then you see it and you change. So much easier than reading a bunch of stuff and then letting it go. Because when something comes up that relates to you, and that's a situation that you have difficulty with, then that is a situation or a rule or a law that you need to study every day until you feel it, however long it takes, and then you just become that person. Just like you've become all the things we never should have become to begin with. I was pretty surprised because I did write this article like in 2009, and then again I think I did number 2 in 2016 or 17, I'm not sure, or 18. But regardless, I was surprised I didn't have it on my YouTube channel, and is most definitely time to put it here. So seriously, do you want to live a better life? Do you want to get along with your family and your friends, your lovers, or your spouse? Do you want to have the best relationships you could ever have? And if your answer is yes, then I highly suggest you grasp the understanding of this law and connect it to it in your heart. As I said, you need to feel it. So what this means, this has to do with oneness. Oneness is a difficult subject to grasp. And I know by the end of the year, this year 2020, that most everybody will understand the law of oneness. Now, it's not that we're all the same, it's just that we're all one. So we've been raised to be separate from each other, separate through sexes, male, female, separate through, heterosexual or gay, separate through color of your skin, separate through your religious beliefs, separate through your countries, with borders. All of that should never even have occurred, and eventually one day all borders will be gone. But it's a process, and it takes time. But in any case, everyone is you. So your life is created by how you think and what you believe and the thoughts and the words that you express. And what happens is that it comes back to your life to prove to you that you're correct, even if you're not correct. And that's why you believe it. Does that make sense? If you believe that everybody is mean, then, well, let's just say you believe that, let's get deeper than that. You believe, let's go with the relationships. You believe that all men are cheaters. And if you're a man and you believe that all women are cheaters, then that's what you strongly believe. Then this is what you will create for yourself. And the universe will bring you people that cheat on you to prove to you that what you believe is true. Does this make sense? So, if life mere reflects your thoughts, then you change your thought to something positive, because believing that everyone cheats on you is not a positive thought, correct? But That's the experience that you will experience. So take anything that you believe, anything, and you will create that for yourself. If you believe that every night you're going to see a rainbow in the sky, then you will create that for yourself. You see, so you can create negative, you can create positive. And the hardest thing for us to see is ourselves. It's called our shadow self. There's so many people who speak about how they believe in, that, they are not negative. People think they're not negative. They're the most positive person in the world, but yet they are, and they don't realize it. So what happens is when you need to change something about yourself that you do not see, other people challenge you. Now, when you get challenged by other people, you get mad, you get angry, you start judging that person, and now you're in the mode of separation. And that's not reality. Now, what you do instead is when someone challenges you, you step back and go, thank you for coming into my life and showing me what I need to change about myself, what I'm not seeing about myself. And then you work on that part of yourself. And that's it. It's the law of manifestation. I'm going to say it again. Every belief creates your reality. And if you're unhappy with your current reality, you have to change your belief, your behavior. So if there's something in your reality that you're not happy with, and there's a million things people aren't happy with, but, it's just easier for me to relate it with relationships because you can all relate to that. So there's something in your relationships that you continue to see, then you're drawing that experience back to you because you're not getting the lesson. So I have some examples. Your spouse is a challenge because he or she is very controlling. What is the mere reflection? Now, this is why people get mad. They go, well, I'm not controlling, or I'm not a cheater, or I'm not this, or I'm not that. It's him, it's her, it's him, it's her. You miss the point. It's not that you're controlling. It's that you have control issues still within yourself that you don't see. Think about it. Maybe you don't see it as control. A lot of people are very controlling of their children or controlling of their significant other. You can't do this, you can't do that, blah, 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 blah. No, that's not a relationship. That's not a relationship anybody would want to be in. And if you keep running to people who try to control you, then you're not in control of yourself. So now you have to see, what is it that I'm not in control of? And that's what you work on. Your boyfriend or girlfriend is not dependable. And the mere reflection is that you're not dependable in some way. Maybe someone tells you they're going to do something, but they never follow through on it. But do you do the same thing? And do you have an excuse for it? But in turn, you get mad at that other person, your friend, your lover, your spouse, your parents, your boss, your teachers, whoever. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't have to be a love relationship, a personal relationship. It can be your boss. You know, for instance, I needed to learn how to fend for myself. And that always comes from loving yourself. Everything comes back from loving yourself. It's all intertwined. Because when you love yourself, you don't have these issues either. Because you understand. And when someone challenges you, you don't get mad. You go, oh gosh, there's something I haven't seen about myself. And you thank that person and you go on with your life. You don't make blatant statements like everybody's evil and evil people blah 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 blah. No, nobody is evil. Nobody does anything to you. You do everything to yourself. You create it all by yourself. Now, what my situation was when I first started working is, you know, I was about getting people to like me and trying to please everyone. And even though I was verbally abused at work when I first started, I would take it. I would go home and cry, and then I would come back to work and just, you know, always with a smile on my face. But that went from one job to another job to another job to another job until finally it hit me like a ton of bricks that I had to stand up for myself. And trust me, the man that I stood up to myself, I swear to God, in my eyes was like 6'10". He was this big burly man. He was my boss. And for me to tell him that I was giving my notice because I thought he was a bully, he wasn't nice to me, and I wasn't going to work under that environment anymore, I shook. My whole body shook. Now, most of you who are afraid of speaking your truth are afraid that something bad's going to happen. And the opposite actually happens because you're disrespected by people because you disrespect yourself. You see, this is all mirror reflected, everything. So what he did was apologize and said that's not how he saw me, and wanted me to stay in that position, and said go home and think about it, and I don't care how long it takes you, even if it takes 3 months for you to decide to come back, I will pay you as if you're here every day. And that was like, whoa. You see, that was the best time for me to finally stand up for myself. And what happened from that experience? Every single solitary job I had ever had from that day forward, I never was bullied or mistreated by any boss ever again. And because it was a lesson. So what's the point? Anything that repeats in your life is a lesson you need to learn, something you're not seeing about yourself. You need to change it. Recognize, see it, acknowledge it, change it. And that goes back to what I've written down here. Your boss disrespects you. You don't respect yourself. You have boundaries and you haven't used any of your boundaries, and you allow people to walk all over you. You don't speak your truth. So you keep attracting people who will disrespect you until you learn it. So these people that you get angry at are put in your face, on your path, to challenge you, to show you what you need to change about yourself. I mean, it's simple. Like, if there's someone that you talk to who raises their voice all the time and that annoys you, they're just letting you know that that's what you do. Anything that annoys you that other people do is what you do. So take it, get it, understand it, deal with it, release it, get over it. I mean, what else can you do? It's for you to have a better life. It's not a punishment. No one's out to punish you. No one's out to get you. It's not about that. You know, I used to have, all my friends were bossy and controlling. And they would tell me, who to see, who to go out with, what to do, what not to do, what to wear and what not to wear. And then as they were doing this, I would, of course, listen to them. And then I would find on my own that they weren't really caring about half the stuff they were telling me. It had something to do with them. And that I wasn't in control of myself. And I had no boundaries. I never learned boundaries. Most people don't learn boundaries from their families. They just think that your family can walk all over you and it's your mom, so you have to listen, or you have to do this, or you have to do that. No, no, because you chose your parents. They're also mirror reflecting you too. So, what is the situation of life is a mere reflection? Even Michael Jackson wrote a song a long time ago. If you don't like what you see, look in the mirror and change yourself. And it's been a message for a long, long time. And it is something that every single person needs to understand. The laws of the universe are how this world is governed, whether you want to believe it or not, whether you like it or not. You should open your mind to these laws so you can see why things have happened to your life, why you've been abandoned, why you were given up for adoption, why you've been abused, you know, why you've been cheated on, why people lied to you. All the things that are negative in your life are created by your thoughts. That's life. That's reality. Because what it does is it keeps you on the law or the wheel of karma. You know, karma is a law. Resistance is a law. Manifesting is a law. This is part of the law of manifestation, because you manifest these people to challenge you, to teach you what you need to change about yourself, just as much as you can manifest money. You can manifest a relationship. You can manifest a pet. You can manifest anything because it's a law. This is not something that takes rocket science. These are all laws. You know, getting a divorce is part of a law, and it's part of something that you decided before you came here to deal with, to learn from. And during this time of growth, if you started learning wisdom and harmony, you get rid of your karma. So it's imperative to learn and grow and raise your vibration. And it's imperative to release all the negative rules that you've been taught. I don't care who taught them to you. You know, I don't care if it's your priest or your rabbi, your minister. I mean, I don't know why people would think that a person that was born on this planet, like you and me, decided to be a minister or a priest, and now all of a sudden they're holier than you and know everything you don't know. And all they do is tell you what they learned when they went to school. And where did they learn that information? So you see, there's stuff beyond what we've been taught. There's stuff far way beyond what you think you know and what you believe. And really, if you studied the universal laws as much as you studied your Bible, you would see how they don't all gel together. I know that astrology by a lot of religious practices is considered evil when your life is based on astrology. That's what astrology is all about. There's planets in the sky and there's astrologers that give you information about what to expect, what's going on right now, what's happening in the future, all by the way the planets align. But you also have planets on your birth chart that interact with the planets that are currently in the sky. So that's why it's an individual thing. It's a universal thing. And then again, as far as an astrologer, what they say is only how they interpret what the signs mean. So you see, sometimes they don't give you something that you might not believe in certain situations because it's their interpretation. This is why, where does this all come back to? Not what other people tell you, but you know everything I share with you. You know all the things you need to know inside of you. So everything comes from yourself first, and then it goes out. So it's, you attract it, you create it by what you think, by what you believe. So you change your thoughts to positive, you understand the universal laws, you believe and understand that you are your own creator, and you believe and you understand that other people who challenge you are only helping you. That's it. So, I hope this sinks in. This one particular law, idea, thought, whatever, can totally change your life, totally change your relationships with every single person on the planet. And you see, when you have positive, loving thoughts, then you attract positive, loving people, positive, loving experiences. And then you can manifest simply anything. I mean, you manifest things without even believing that you manifest things, but you don't even know that you're doing it because you're not deep into it, I guess. I really don't know. It's a good thing to spend time alone, take a subject that you're not good on or whatever that you need to work on. Maybe it's life is a mere reflection of you. You need to really work on it. You need to see it. You need to practice it. You need to test it. That's what I've always done. Every single thing that was taught to me, I tested it to prove to myself that it was true. One of the tests that I did was the universe is always guiding you. And when you think it's a negative, it's actually a positive. And so I'm just going to bring it up because it's in my mind for a reason. So I guess I'm supposed to share it. But I used to have a boyfriend who was from New York. If you're from the United States, and when I just say from New York, that says a lot. If you're not from the United States, you don't understand New York. New Yorkers are bold, verbal, say what they want, do what they want type of thing, and very, very impatient. Everything in New York is quick, fast, quick, fast. I mean, when I drove my car in New York, as soon as the light turned red, man, if I didn't go across that street, as soon as it turned red, I had 20 people honking at me. I mean, I don't even think 3 seconds passed. I mean, I needed to go. So, impatience. So, in any case, we decided to drive up a mountain to a restaurant that overlooked. It's a very interesting place in Southern California. It's you drive 5,000 miles up this hill, and if you stop and you turn around, you can see the city below you. Now, I used to live in Colorado, and Colorado is a mile-high city, which is 5,000 feet, above sea level. But I didn't turn around and see California, if you get what I'm saying. So, but you could actually turn around and see the city 5,000 feet below you, which is really interesting. So this restaurant sat up like on this type of cliff where you could do that. And the traffic was atrocious. And he got very, very upset. And he's cussing and he's swearing and all of that kind of stuff. So I said, look, the universe is just telling us that there's a reason why we're stuck in traffic, and that's because this restaurant is full. Now, we could be there right now, and we could wait an hour, or we can drive, we can have a conversation, we can enjoy the scenery, the mountains, the snow, whatever, and when we get there, it'll be fine. Well, he thought I was nuts, of course, but we drove and we finally got there. I think it took 2 hours when it's normally like maybe a 45-minute drive. It took us 2 hours. And parked the car, we went to the restaurant. Whenever your guides or God or your angels or whoever wants to let you know what you thought was true, they tell you through other people. I want you to see that other people speak to you from their guidance too, from your higher self too. That's where magic comes. They don't know what you're thinking, but they're inspired. They're told to tell you. They don't know they're told to tell you. You just talk. You just pick up thoughts. See, half the thoughts and half the stuff that you do are really coming from your guides. That they're not coming from you, because nobody on this planet is smarter than anyone else, because we're one. Because I'm you and you're me and we're all the same. So anyway, we get to the restaurant, park the car, we walk up, and the first thing that said was, wow, you got here just in time. Or at the right time, because we were on an hour wait. And now everything is clear. So is it a table for two? You see, every negative is a positive. So anyway, I'm just leaving you with this thought. And I hope you have a very, very blessed day. And that you take the time to work on yourself. Change yourself so you can have a happy, stress-free life. You'll always be challenged, because that is part of life. It's also when you leave the planet, you're still challenged. Thank you for joining me. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Send me an email. Thanks. Bye.